Yes.
Coach Deborah has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
Good evening and welcome to Build Your Best Life. I am super excited today because it's been a while since I had the privilege of having Coach Ricardo Miller here with us. How are you today, sir?
Listen, thank you for having me back, first and foremost. It's a joy to be back on Build Your Best Life, and it's all about reaching out. These Tuesdays have been amazing, and thank you for your faithfulness and dedication to providing a platform and a service like this to people everywhere.
Thank you so much. Well, good evening, everyone. I see we have some guests out here today. Hello, Catherine. Glad to see you. Ken Chisholm Sr., how are you today? Maria, I'm not going to say your last name. I don't want to butcher it up. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. And Dan Smith, thank you all for tuning in. For those of you who don't know me, I am Coach Deborah Smith. And this month we are talking about reaching out to close the gap. There is so much that goes on with our young men that happens because they're on one end, they have all these different things that's happening to them. On the other end, they're dealing with their hormones changing, different friends changing schools, getting along with friends, falling out with the opposite sex. All types of things are going on. So there's a gap there. And there are a lot of things that can be done on the front end that will keep us from losing them along the way. So we want to try to close that gap. So that's what we're focusing on this month. Today, Coach Miller and I are going to be talking about from the topic, I've Got a Secret. And most of you probably don't remember this. And so I'm telling my age, but there used to be a show that would come on, I've Got a Secret. And there were people from all walks of life, and their objective was to tell answer all these questions that the panel would throw at them, but try to throw them off so they could not guess what their profession was or something special that they had done in life. So they would just dodge all kinds of questions and answer in a way to throw the panel off. Well, you know, our young people, they have secrets. And for their age, sometimes that's okay because teens like to keep secrets. However, we have to keep up. So we know when it's a red alert and we need to start closing that gap up. So we hopefully can come up with some things that you hadn't heard before today, and you will see that this is so essential. But before we get started, some people probably may not have met you. I don't know how they could not have, but Coach, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you have going on?
Well, Coach Deborah, I am Ricardo Miller. I reside in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Texas, to be more specific. I love the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area, but I'm originally from the Bahamas. So I'm an island boy. And so I've been in Texas now for 20 plus years. I have a passion and a commitment to helping people. And I fell in love with this message of build your best life and your book, and to be able to serve on your board with all that you're doing to helping people everywhere. And so it's a joy to be on this platform. I've written a book called Effective Living. And as the name stayed on the screen, I'm a coach as well. I'm a life management coach. I like helping people to bring order to their lives. I believe effective living is all about management. How well are you managing your life in proportion to your potential being maximized? So I'm looking forward to what we're going to talk about today. I believe it's going to be very helpful. I've got a secret. I'm ready to talk.
All right. Well, everyone, please make sure that you like, comment, and share. If you have not liked my Build Your Best Life Facebook page, please do so today, because if you just follow my personal page, then I can't see your comments or your name. So please make sure you do that and subscribe to my YouTube page as well. But you know, raising children in the 21st century takes time, it takes problem solving, it takes critical skills. You have to think outside of the box. You need ESP. You got to try to figure out what is going on with them. You got to keep up with the latest music, the fads, what they like, what they don't like. You have to know when they have new drugs out on the market. You have to stay on top of those academics. There's just so much going on. And I know that with RJ and Grace, you have, you know, a lot of things that go on, but you have to be diligent. You know that from raising your kids, you have to be diligent and know when something is falling off, you know, what's the normal with them, but then when something's falling off and filling that gap. So, Coach, what are your thoughts about the importance of staying engaged in an attempt to avoid losing a child to the world and all of these things that are going on?
Coach Deborah, you know, the Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go. Mm-hmm. Most people, I believe, when we're talking to parents, be it that you're the mom or the dad that's listening to us this evening, most people, the mistake that they make is that, one, they have not made a commitment to train, and two, they're just basically reacting to the responsibility that falls under being a parent. So reacting, oh, the school says that he is not doing well, so I'm going to have to engage. Oh, you know, in the neighborhood, he's not doing well, so I'm going to have to engage. Oh, he's starting to talk to a girl, so I'm going to have to engage. The problem that I see is that we have too many parents reacting and not being proactive. Okay, so if you're watching and you're a parent, I see Kendrick as a parent, and Brady is a parent, and Maria is a parent, even at the age where our children becomes adults. I see your husband, Dan Smith, is watching. Listen, there is still a proactive role that all parents should play in that of even in prayer, praying for them. Watch this. There's a season where you can see girlfriend is coming. You can't talk to the child once girlfriend arrive.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Peer pressure is coming. If you're talking while peer pressure is present, you're late. Okay? A job is coming. Responsibility is coming. If you're trying to teach responsibility while they should already be responsible, you're late. And so I think, Coach Deborah, the concern that I have for parents being so far behind in reaching their kids is that they're too reactive. I think it's important for us to, one, the scripture talks about having an understanding of the times. I believe that we should pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, help me to understand the times and the season my child is in or is about to be in, and give me wisdom. Give me a support system that's going to help me to help my child navigate these months and years to come.
I agree so much with that. And you know, that happens just all too often. The reaction instead of being proactive. You know, oh, my child's already in jail. You know, what am I going to do? My child failed. What am I going to do? I need to talk with you now. You know, I need to read a book now. No, like as you said, it's too late.
Yep. And it's like you're playing catch up.
Right.
Playing catch up. And there's possibility that you can make some form of catching up, but boy, is it so much better. What in the Bahamas we call, they say, bend the tree while it's young. Bend the tree while it's young. Well, if you bend the tree while it's young, you won't break the tree. You won't hurt the tree. You can help the tree grow in its appropriate way. If you don't like how the tree is growing in the young years of the tree, it's called pruning. It's called pruning. You prune the tree to ensure that the tree is growing the way you want it to grow. And so after a tree is a certain size, Coach Deborah, it's very difficult. Oh, it's very difficult to try to make some adjustment to that tree. As a matter of fact, the more you try to adjust the tree in its more mature years, the chances of risking the life of the tree is strong. And I think a lot of parents, they're so late that even in their attempt to try to address an issue, because they don't have the skill to address the issue, and being late, they sometimes lose the battle.
All right. I so agree with that. And it's very, very important. All right, Jocelyn, I see that you have joined. And Linda, we are talking about I've Got a Secret and how our young people will sometimes keep things to themselves. So we are going to talk about how we're going to close that gap and get those secrets out. So, Coach, what barriers do you think cause young men to keep secrets and not discuss different situations and issues with their parents?
One, I think it's a lack of relationships. You know, somebody said, that's my daughter. We have a relationship. Do you? That's my son. We have a relationship. You know, this term, we have a relationship because that's my child, doesn't mean we have a great relationship. I mean, my son is 21 and I'm still learning stuff about him where I think I have it on lock. I don't quite have it on lock because he's a child who is growing, no longer a child, but a young adult. And the truth is, you got to work on having a relationship. Now, here's the deal. The mother, daughter, the mother, son, the father, daughter, the father, son automatically does not guarantee it's a relationship or a good relationship. So the question is, do we have a good relationship? Do I have a good relationship with my child or my children? Coach Deborah, a lot of parents, they've been taught only how to tell or to instruct from a forceful standpoint, not from a relationship standpoint. So some parents don't even know how to talk to their children. They only know how to instruct their children in a demanding way that actually come across demeaning and over constructive and hurtful. And here's the deal. You know you're not in a good place when you have to say, I'm the dad. I'm the man around here, or I'm the woman around here. If you got to get to that point where you're saying I'm the man around here, I'm the woman around here, you missed a few things. And it's okay to now know that I need to work on that. Okay? I don't have to say I'm in charge. I don't have to say this is my house. I need to enforce and engage with the healthiest of communication with my children, in that of incorporating what is right without anger, frustration, and this level of stern parenting that came from the past that wasn't helpful. My mother said something once and that was it. Well, that worked then. How many people are losing their children today because they're using that old method with today's children, and they're discovering these kids aren't the same?
They are not. They are not, definitely. And I so agree with what you're saying about the relationship, but something that pops up, and I would like for you to address it. You say, you need to have a relationship with your child, but that's not, oh, we're friends. Me and my son hang out, we friends. No. It's different. You need to have a relationship, but y'all not friends.
It is so important that we understand, I believe, and Miss Cynthia can attest to this. I believe Miss Jocelyn can attest to this. As our children grow, we have to now understand we too have to grow. So I have this term, a growing child needs a growing parent. Okay? A growing child needs a growing parent. So as the child is developing and growing up in your home, you find that how you dealt with the child, how you communicated with the child between 1 and 10 changes between 10 and 15. How you deal with the child between 15 and 21 changes. How you deal with the child between 21 and up changes. And then when the child, when they bought a house, got a degree and get a job, come on now, it's a shift. Now, here's the deal. You can have a great relationship with your child, but you don't get it twisted. You got to know that, here's the deal. I want us to have friendship, but I should never let my relationship with you go to be so common that my wisdom and the parental guidance that God would give me, even in your latter years, is thrown out the window because I've become so common with my child. And so that's the danger. Some people want to be friends because they don't have no friends. Children is the closest to them. So you know what? I ain't got no friends, so my kids are my best friends. And well, you should have friends, and your children should have friends, and you should be close with your kids, but you don't need to be their friends to be close to them.
That's right.
Let me say that again. Your children should have friends. You should have friends, and don't lean on your children to make them your friends when it's just that you don't have any friends and you're claiming them to be your friends. Allow your children to have friends, allow you to have friends, but allow yourself to be friendly and healthy to the point where it's easy for both of you to do life together in the different stages. The relationship of parent and child is going to change.
That's right.
The problem is most parents are reactive to that again, Coach Deborah. And by the time as they telling a boy no or they're telling the girl no, they didn't realize the shift happened. The shift happened. Listen, here's what I believe. This is a hard statement, and I had to eat this one up myself. This bite me in the butt. Okay? I don't kick in the butt, right? This one, here's what I knew I was about to lose RJ. Okay? This is what I knew I was about to lose RJ. I knew I was about to lose RJ at the stage when I say, I don't understand this child. It was, and here's the deal. That was about between the 7th and the 9th grade. And you have heard it. We hear that different. Some people at 6th grade, That means, here's the deal. When I say a growing child needs a growing parent, Coach Deborah, whenever you are no longer skilled in training the child in the way they should go, frustration emerges at a higher level. So what I'm saying is, here's the deal. Your frustration is revealed in the lack of skill in your parental responsibility. You are called to train the child, but you may not be skilled in training the child. You catch that, Coach Deborah?
Yes.
You are called to train the child, but not because you brought a child into the world mean you're trained.
That's right.
Mean you're skilled. And so what happens, Coach Deborah, is that, watch this, the first 3 years was what they call the easy years because the skill was not as high or needed from the parent. It was easy. Watch this. The child hits 5 and they say, this child 5, he won't even listen to me. That's because you, as the parent, are now showing that you don't have the skill to train this child. And when you see a child is 5 and reckless, you'll be like, Lord, I'll be scared when he turned 9. I'm afraid when he turns 13, revealing lack of skill. So what I tell parents, Coach Deborah, is whatever season your child is in, you have to ask God to help you to have the wisdom and the strategy to help parent them through that season. I'm looking at RJ, my son is 21 right now, and I'm looking at my daughter who is 12, and I'm saying each season of their lives, you're going to need a skill set to meet the demands of that season. Or you will lose your child. And so if you're reactive and you're low skill when it comes to parenting, your pain is going to be a big part of your journey because you're reactive and you're low skill. So the goal is inquire what you need to know and be proactive so you're not so reactive.
That's good. Like what Cynthia says, that's not a child problem. That's a lack of parental training, skills, and teaching. Yep. And what you said is so good. So everybody should have put that in the chat. A growing child needs a growing parent. We need to stay relevant, know what's going on with them. And, that's why it's important to read. You notice I always have something every week about reading. Yep. It's not just because I have a book, but we need to read, stay informed. Things are changing. We need to stay up. But also, if we have children that we are still trying to raise, or grandchildren are coming up, we need to be relevant so we can be proactive and not reactive and waiting to that time.
Watch this, Coach Deborah. With you saying that, I had a conversation with RJ one time. It was not so long ago, maybe a year ago. And I said, son, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to help guide you at this particular season when I missed a few seasons behind. And I can't go back. I can't go back, and I missed a few seasons. He said, Dad, well, how did you miss a season? I said, man, I was going from a blank slate. I mean, I just was keeping my fingers crossed and hoping and wishing and praying that what I was doing was right. And some of it, what I was doing was right, but it wasn't sufficient. And I said, one day you could sit down with your family, sit down with your friends, be in your dorm room at your college. And one day you could probably feel as though my dad is a jerk. My dad didn't do right. My dad, whatever. Or you can understand right now, I'm being honest with you. Guess what? You got a dad who tried. And a good percentage of what I tried probably didn't even work. A good percentage of what I tried, I didn't even know what I was doing when I was trying it, Coach Deborah. But I said to him, I'm a lifelong learner. Give me a chance to continue to grow and evolve because the rest of my life, I still have value to add to you. So yes, maybe between 1 and 10, I could have been better. Or 10 and 20, I could have been better. But you're on 21 now. Guess what? I still have value to add. And so don't hold me to my past. Let's walk this out together. Because here's the deal. I told him, you're going to have a child one day. You're going to have a family one day. And your family will need you to lead them. And I need us to break the cycle, you know? And so I just had to come clean. So I'm saying that to some parents. A lot of us, man, listen, a lot of parents are parenting and they're going through health issue, financial issue, relationship issue, career issue, and they got a child they're trying to parent, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle. And so I said to him, I said, listen, when the job of the parent is to raise the child, that doesn't mean that's the only job of the parent. So a lot of people don't give parents no pass, but then the parent don't need to give themselves too much of a pass either, because how much is given, much is required. So I have to get well at parenting. I have to get well at providing. I have to get well at protecting. I have to get well at spiritually leading. Whew, what a job.
It's a job. Yeah.
And then some of them walk off and be ungrateful.
Right? Hey, yeah, but it's not, well, people have children for different reasons, but that's one of the things that, we need to be cognizant of, that children, it takes time. It's like a marriage takes work. Raising your children takes time and experience, and you have to ask some questions. I remember when I had my first child, I was going by what my mom could tell me, which she was much older, and then they hadn't raised any boys in the family for probably 20, 30 years. So this was the first boy. So I know I didn't do well. So I had to learn. So when you have some questions and you're not doing well, like, you admitted, hey, I'm stuck here, but ask someone.
Yeah, correct. Someone, someone is succeeding where you're failing.
That's right.
And here's the deal. You know what keeps a lot of people from getting help? Is pride.
That's right.
It's pride. And coming clean. Like I said to my son, I'm coming clean. Hey, I'm trying. And I'm going to continue to try. Okay? And I say, you can have your opinion about my trying, but my goal is to keep trying to get better. Okay? And in the sight of God, he knows my heart. In the sight of man, I'm increasing my skill. Did you hear that just now? In the sight of God, he knows my heart, because hard enough is not enough. Right. You got to still go ahead and increase it. You ever met those people, Coach Deborah? They say, Coach, you don't understand. I'm doing my best, but your skill set is low. So your best ain't that good.
Right. Yep. It's like with me and plants. I do my best, but I don't know anything about plants, so they just die. So you got to get the skills. Yes. Hi, Karen and Carol, Linda. Thank y'all for tuning in. We have a great topic that we're discussing. I've got a secret. We're trying to find out about these secrets and what we need to do to make it better, close these gaps. Coach, how can keeping problems to themselves really hurt and bring a destruction to a young man's life?
Keeping problems to yourself never helps. Anything that's wrong needs to be revealed. But the environment needs to be safe, or else it won't be revealed. And I think that's the problem. We have to get better at being a safe place. One of the things that I'm learning with both Grace and RJ is to try to be a safe place. And Coach Deborah, it's hard not to be a judgmental parent, because a lot of times our parental demand that we put on the relationship of trying to guide our children is coming from the pressure of people's opinion. If the boy tells you this or the girl tells you that, I'm trying to help my son, I'm trying to help my daughter. Oh, but what will people think? Forget what people think. I'm going to try to be a safe place for my daughter. I'm going to try to be a safe place for my son. And I think that'll allow people to know if there's a problem, home is a place you can come and share it. That should be the message.
Yes. Always have someone that you can come home and talk with. Because, If you don't feel like you can go home and let it go, then you're gonna let it go to the wrong place or to the wrong person, and get further into this issues and situations. And I love what Cynthia said about parenting. She says everyone's parenting skills are not the same, and then families are different as well. So you have different dynamics. So you have to make sure, when you're getting that help, that you're asking the right questions as well.
So good.
And you're seeking the right help.
So good.
Very good. Yep. Yes, well, that's right, Karen. Forget about what people think. You got to do what's best for you and yours. Because at the end of the day, everybody's going to be looking at you.
Yep.
All right. So, no, now, not to play this one-sided with the secrets, because I did do my research, and it says, teens at some level, it is okay, because, that's something they like to do. But the types of things that they keep secret is our biggest issue, in not having them fall into that gap, So I'm keeping a diary, okay? As long as I can get in there and look in that diary every now and then to make sure of what's in there. You're not meeting some 20-year-old man and you're 15 or whatever. But certain secrets are okay.
Yes.
But we have to be very, very vigilant in what's going on. So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think what helps that is, once again, making home a safe place. Making that drive with mom a safe place, making that drive with dad a safe place. I used to say a long time ago, if you have to sneak, if you're sneaking, you're doing something wrong. Think about it. I was like, hey, if you're sneaking, you're doing something wrong. And I had to get to the point where, not so long, just of late, I had to learn, hey, man, I'm 47 years old. I ain't got to sneak. I got to sneak. I don't have to sneak, but in truth, you want to be so healthy and you want to be so engaging and connecting. It's like the child phone don't need a code lock on it, because I'm not hiding anything, and the parent don't have to worry. I'm not hiding it, and it just is a healthy position, and home is a safe place. And hey, if you're sneaking and you're having to hide and you feel uncomfortable sharing with us or sharing with me, a parent, I got some work to do.
That's right. And that's a good one that Cynthia just put up. Being a parent and providing a safe place may sometimes mean we need to open our ears and close our mouths.
Come on now. Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Listen. Make sure you're listening. You're not just doing something and they're talking and right. No, you have to really, really listen and let them know, if I do have a problem, I can go to that safe place and there's somebody that's going to listen to me and they're not going to judge me.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Yes.
They're going to train me. We'll provide that training. That's good, Cynthia. I love it. Yes, and I don't know why, but my youngest son asked me, he sent me a text last week and he says, what was the most favorable or memorable time that we spent together? And I actually told him it was like on Saturday mornings when he didn't have school. Now, he and I, we were with only 2 coffee drinkers, but we would sit around and drink coffee and we would talk.
Good.
But he always knew that he could come and talk with me, and I might yell sometimes, but for the most part, I changed. I learned that you have to listen, and because all that yelling, they're not going to want to talk to you.
So, did you have a season where you were more the yeller, or you were the strong, opinionated, no other way but this way, or you said you had changed? Tell us a little bit about that, Coach Deborah.
Well, I learned as I went with my, I have a blended family as well. So the oldest one I gave birth to and the youngest one I gave birth to, but they're 17 years apart. So the first one, I had no idea what I was doing, but I would yell. I just yell, "You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. Why are you not doing this? You're smart, you're not dumb. Go to school, do your work. Why are you not making, but I'm just yelling. And it's probably falling on deaf ears because now he asked me, Mom, why were you so mean?
Yeah, right.
And I loved him more than life itself, but I didn't know what I was doing. So and my mom had told me, you have a boy, you have to make him afraid of you. You got to put the fear of God in him. He's not gonna do right. So I'm trying to make this child scared of me.
Come on. Ooh, okay.
But then as I learned, that doesn't work. And then working with the children in the children's ministry, I learned and I read and I learned, okay, I gotta be someone that's gonna listen. We gotta sit down. I'm gonna pay attention when you're telling me something. If you ask for my advice, okay, but I'm not just gonna, but it was totally different.
Yeah.
And, so.
That's good. Yeah. I like that. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, what Cynthia says. It's not the same one, is it? No. Oh, yeah, it is the same one. Okay, I'm sorry.
There you go.
When you know better, you do better. That's right. Yeah, so I learned better. So hopefully I did better.
I think you did. And you're helping a lot of people after you discover the truth. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the goal is when you discover the truth, then you start to pass it on because you're grateful for having figured it out. Even if sometimes, like in my case, I'm learning late. But I told my son, I said, we're late learners, but we finish strong. I said, Millers, we've never started well. But I've never started well. I did horrible in elementary school. I did, early 20s, didn't do that well. But I said, we end well. We end well.
Yeah. And, when you learn, don't be so big or so, I don't know, you have no humility at all that you're not willing to go back and talk to that child. Like, I can talk to him now, I apologize. I did the best that I could. I thought what I was doing was the correct thing to do, but now I know you don't, that wasn't the way to do things, but I didn't know any better.
Correct.
So I apologize, but, we have a great relationship now, whatever, but I had to, be upfront and say, yeah, I was wrong.
Yep. I've been there. Yep.
Yeah. So when is it okay for teens and young adults to keep things hidden from their parents? And when is it unacceptable? Is it ever acceptable?
I think that's a hard question because I think there will be times they will keep things from their parents, but I think I don't think there is a time you should keep things from your parents. I think there are things people keep from their parents, teens keep from their parents. What I think is you should develop a relationship where you're not afraid to tell me anything. And as you're developing and growing into a young adult, we have this open relationship where you don't have to keep secrets. And so there isn't, I think a child or teenager, you should tell them, hey man, you should not feel as though you having to hide anything from me. That's a relationship building factor. Now, please let me know, why do you feel as though you need to hide something? Well, you don't let me talk to you. Okay, well, let's work on that. You're so judgmental. I'm going to work on that. But I want you to know, a healthy relationship demands that, one, I help guide you in where you should go, and I'm ahead of you. I'm the parent. My responsibility is to train you. However, there will be opportunities where you can do things and I not know. And here's the deal. If you keep building on that, that can hurt you. And it blindsides me, but it actually hurts you more because you didn't give me a chance to help you because you started keeping secrets. So I don't think secrets is the way to go. I think an open relationship with a child and the parents, I'm going to let my mom know. I met a couple years ago, their daughter, I used to be on the streets, you might know Coach Denver, right? And this guy, I met this couple and they had three girls. And we were in the hood, man. We were in the neighborhood, and it was thugs and gangsters and drug addicts and everything. And these three girls dated a lot of the guys from the neighborhood. And I remember none of us got anywhere with the girls. But I can remember meeting one of the girls later, as in maybe early 20s, right, finishing college. And I remember seeing her. She worked at a bank and she was a young supervisor, professional. And I said, hey, I remember back in the day, me, my friends, all of us dated one of you out of the three sisters. Y'all didn't have a problem talking to the boys in the neighborhood. She said, no. And I said, how come? I said, well, our dad really talked to us a lot about boys. I said, well, how come ain't nobody got anywhere? I said, she said, because as soon as y'all would try to hold our hands, our dad would say, let me tell you, when he hold your hands, he gonna try to do this. And when he say this is what he gonna try to do. And everything. And she said, we would have dinner conversations talking about the jokes between what boy tried what. And all three of us girls were able to navigate all of the inner city behavior of what they call fast girl, rough elements, and not actively got ourselves in trouble because our parents allowed home to be a safe place to talk about everything. So the first time I kissed a boy, I told my dad. That's what she said. I kissed the boy at the school. I just felt like I should have kissed him. He was like, how did you feel about that? And the mom was like, you kissed the boy? And she was like, it was Valentine's. He got me flowers. And she's like, what else you going to do with the boy? And they talked through it. And it was a safe place. And the home went into the conversation and it protected us. She says, all three of my sisters and I are honest with each other. And we left high school as virgins. I was like, y'all can write a book.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
Well,
I love it. Yeah, but when you can have those conversations, it makes a huge difference. Yeah. And, like I said, I had the boys, but I would talk to them just like, hey, you don't do this, you need to do this. And when no means no. And then if they were talking to a girl, I would tell that girl, don't let my son, just because it's my son, don't let him disrespect you.
Coach Deborah, you know how many women haven't talked to their sons about no means no?
A lot.
You know how many dads did not stop to talk to their sons? As a matter of fact, Karen asked me one day, she said, did you talk to RJ about no means no? He in college on them campus. Make sure he know no means no.
Yep.
There's a lot.
Did you?
I did. I said,
okay.
Hey, no, but she, being who she is, she was making sure that, hey, just in the event that I didn't, but how many people don't? You got that boy and you say, hey, I told my son, hey man, on college campuses, all of this stuff is going to happen.
All right.
I was your age before. I led the crowd, never followed the crowd. I was around things, but I never allowed things to get in me because I was stronger than that. You may not be that. So I had to walk him through something. And it's still a difficult conversation. It's not easy. There's some stuff, man. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm like, oh Lord, I got to talk to him about this, but go for it.
Yeah. Hey, I broke it all down. I didn't hold any bars when it came to that. I mean, I told them all, I said, now I'm a female, so I can tell you this and this and this and this. Yep, and you're going to have some girls, they see you, they think your parents got some money. They'll say, oh yeah, da, 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 da. I say, I don't care if they tell you they're on birth control. I don't care if they tell you yep. This is what you do. Yep. And that's what I mean. Yep. I was stern during those times. That wasn't no nice conversation. But having those conversations and explaining to them, I think, that was helpful. Very, very helpful. But that's one conversation really that parents need to, I don't know, they need to pray to God or whatever, but that no means no.
Yes, it's a big one.
That's so very important.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in prison today because they didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo. You're correct.
Yeah. Yes, Cynthia, you have to break it down. And Megs, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the conversation. And Kyrie, I haven't seen you in a while. Glad you're on here. But this is good. This could have been a part 2 to this, but I love this conversation.
Good stuff.
But Coach, can you give our parents, maybe always say 5, but however many tips on how to be proactive in learning how to have that type of communication with their child, that they feel that they're in a safe place and they can have those type conversations that will help fill those gaps, and they know that they don't have to keep secrets as they try to build their best lives.
Good stuff. I'll give you 5. I'll be quick with them as well. Number 1, okay, someone is succeeding where you're failing. Embrace them. Number 1, someone is succeeding where you're failing. Embrace them. They've gone through it and they're doing well, and you're now struggling with it. Embrace them. That's number 1. Number 2, don't allow pride and denial. Okay? Don't let pride and denial cost you when it comes to your parental responsibility. Pride and denial. It's 2 different words.
Yeah.
Denial is failing to accept. Pride is thinking you're too mighty, too uppity. We're gonna say that in the Bahamian way, where you're too up there to believe that you need to come down here to get help. Pride and denial has hurt more children by parents who did not accept what was and didn't open themselves to assist. Allow yourself to get past pride and get past denial. Let me let you know this. Everybody's going through something.
Right.
Everybody is going through something. They just go through it at different times and different seasons and so forth. And let me say this as well. No one has it all together.
That's right.
Okay? No one has it all together. So number 3, okay? Number 3, make your children development a priority. Okay? Number 3, make your children development a priority. Children are supposed to be trained up in the way they should go.
That's right.
The training is development. If there is no development, the child is going to grow any kind of way. And then when you try to correct the child, it could be too late for the child because you're now behind the 8 ball. So go ahead and accept the fact, okay, that training and development needs to become a priority in your home. Family meetings, let's sit down and talk through this and accept the fact that, hey, listen, if I don't train him, or if I don't get a village to help me train him or her, my child can feel this later. So make training and development a priority. Now, what I would add to that is, number 4 is allow, watch this, number 4, allow there to be a support system around you to help you with your deficiencies.
That's good.
Number 4, allow there to be a help system, a village, a group of people to help you with your deficiency. Maybe you left school without an education, but you got 3 girls to raise. You may not have the brain, the mind, the educational background to raise these girls to be educationally sharp. But you know that there's a tutoring program at the school. You know that the neighbor next to you is a teacher, and that neighbor is a math and an English teacher. You now partner with the neighbor to help you where you can't help the child. You have found support to help you with helping the child in the area where the child is going to need help. And last but not least, spend time on your knees praying for your children. Number 5, ask God to be spiritually involved in the raising of your children. The Bible says the Holy Spirit leads you into all truth. Okay, the Bible says the Holy Spirit, watch this, as many that are led by the Holy Spirit are the sons and daughters of God. Pray for your children. Ask God to give you an eye to see, an ear to hear, and a heart to feel. Let me say that again. Ask God to give you an eye to see, an ear to hear, and a heart to feel. Now, you can't go wrong. Now, here's the deal.
Good.
Here's the deal. God's divine involvement allows you to be able to be ahead of the curve. But if you're in denial and if you're prideful, you won't hear, you won't see, and your heart will be rejecting that which you should be embracing. I'm done.
Ooh, wow. That one to preach.
Wow.
Yes, that is great. Now, I hope you captured all of those comments. Those were wonderful. If not, you can always come back and look at this again, because I tell you, I'm going to watch this one again, because having that safe place can make a huge difference in the way you interact with your children, your young people, that they feel like it's okay. I have someone I can talk to, so they're not keeping it in here, because mental health is something that a lot of our young people are struggling with today. So if they're not able to get it out, they're either going to keep it in, which can cause mental health, or they're going to take it out there to someone that doesn't know any more than they do. So they're not going to take them in the right space that they need to go. So it's really, really essential.
So good.
Great. Coach Miller, thank you so much for joining me with this topic. It was on.
Well, you gotta have me back. You gotta have me more than once a year, Coach Deborah. You gotta have me more than once a year. I'll be back on another Tuesday if you would have me.
All right. Well, y'all, I got witnesses. Like, y'all heard it here first.
Thank you so much for a great.
We'll be back. Yes, and tell everybody again. We had some people to come on later. Tell them where they can reach you, and all these great services that you are offering, because they are wonderful, and about your excellent dynamic book. Got my copy here, my new one.
Come on. I got mine right here. Come on. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go to my website, ricardomiller.com, and get yourself a copy of this book. It's a game changer. And guess what? It's on Audible now. So I've been listening to the book now. I'm like, I'm going to listen to my book once a week. And Coach Deborah, I went back into the book. I said, I got to tell everybody who read the book, you got to go back in there and make sure. You're like, hey, I'm going to work this into my life. I was telling my wife, the struggle is, Coach Deborah, it's not knowing the truth only, but it's applying the truth you know.
That's right.
And boy, to get it activated, to become one with the truth is the ultimate goal. But boy, is it a work, because Apostle Paul said, that I know to do, I don't do. And so I'm struggling to make sure that I live this book. And so thank you so much. Go to ricardomiller.com, get a copy of my book, get Coach Deborah's book. Hey, listen, readers are leaders. Make sure you read our books. Make sure you got a copy.
Yes. I love it. I mean, and you can just learn so much with reading, but if you have not checked out Coach Miller's website, you have to check it out and go on YouTube. Just put in his name. He's all over the place, but his content is just excellent.
Thank you.
You will, if you go once, I guarantee you'll go back again for seconds, because it's just that good.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and please make sure that you visit my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org. That's www.buildyourbestlife.org. Of course, you can get an autographed copy of my book. My other services is speaking, webinar speaking, coaching, and consultations. You can read the blog that comes out each Monday at 10. And you can check out our calendar of events to make sure that you are up to date on our events that are coming out. And I'd appreciate it so much. And make sure that you like my Build Your Best Life Facebook page and subscribe to my YouTube page as well. Join us Thursday, if you will, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Thursday Live. And we're going to have a treat for you this Saturday. Normally we have our guys, and a lot of you can't wait for a conversation with the guys on second Saturdays. Well, we got a little twist to it this Saturday. It's going to be conversation with the guys and pearls. So we're going to have 2 guys and 2 pearls, and they're going to be talking about how to restore your credibility. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Saturday. You don't want to miss that. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to check it out.
Likewise.
Yes, yes, yes. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget that my our fundraising campaign is still going on. We have the different levels: platinum, silver, gold, and bronze, 400, 300, 200, and 100. And we are a 501c3 organization, so you will get a document of your donation for your tax purposes. So we appreciate it because we want to continue to do all the things that we are doing to reach young men all over the world, not just in Florida and Texas, but all over the world, because our young men are smart, they're bright, they have ideas to do businesses, new technology, new inventions, and we want to give them the confidence that they can speak and do those things that they have a purpose to do. So we need your help to keep the word going. So thank you so very, very much. And again, thank you again, Coach Ricardo. I appreciate it.
You are very welcome.
All right, everyone. Thank you. And I hope to see you Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. It's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. I'll see you Thursday. And remember, you don't want those kids keeping those secrets. Do better. Love you. Bye-bye.